Welcome to Level Check Roblox. Today we've got a parent review for 99 Nights in the Forest with the sole purpose to work out, is this game suitable for your child? Remember, no one knows your child better than you, so let's dive straight in and have a look at everything the game has to offer so that you can make a informed decision. If you need something specific, then feel free to use the timestamps. Otherwise, let's get straight into it, starting with the homepage. So right off the bat, this is maturity level minimal, which means it's available to all accounts from age 5 all the way through to 15. It is highly popular, 290 odd thousand players and 90% like rate. And the description is really basic. Build a camp with friends, something is watching you, 99 nights in the forest. So it doesn't really give us a great deal to work with. So we'll see what other information there is. Under the content maturity label, we can see fear is occasional and mild, violence is occasional and mild, but we're going to need to dig into that and see a little bit more as to what that is. The genre is listed as survival, that's fine, but I did notice voice chat is supported, so if you have got younger children, you might want to check in your parental settings to double check that voice chat is turned off. Now, there was nothing really offered under the game trailer, but what I did notice in the screenshots is one here with a little bit of threat. There's bear traps, there's weapons, and 97, you can see this thing creeping out and looking over the top. Certainly wouldn't be making this available to a 5, maybe even a 7-year-old potentially, depending on your child's maturity. So just breaking away from the platform for a moment, I did some research and I found this on Google Play, same title of the game, a different developer, although even the screenshots and the branding looks pretty much the same. The major concern for me though was why this is coming up as a PEGI 12 rating for horror, whereas inside of Roblox a very similar looking game is coming up as a suitable for age 5, essentially a toddler. So there to me could be some major differences here that needs to be explored further within the game. So just keep that in mind as we progress. So first up in the lobby, you get a splash screen that tells you this game is based on a true story. You've also got some information about a deer standing unnaturally on 2 legs, 4 children going missing in the woods, the police not finding them, and then the player's job is to find out what's happened to the missing children. So with that as an emotive theme on a minimal level game, I immediately wouldn't be suggesting this as being something suitable for the lower end of 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 years old. I'll keep this bit brief because with the rest of the lobby, I don't really see any issues. All Robux purchases are hidden behind menus, so you would have to go looking for them. There's no adverts, no aggressive pop-ups, so that's all good. There is the ability to chat with other people in the lobby and globally, and the play style is either as a solo or groups of anything up to 5 players. Naturally, you would then be able to speak with those players via the chat option, so just make sure that's suitable too. So what do you have to do in this game? I've spent a couple of hours getting the gist of it, and I can tell you that it is a survival game by tradition. It has got a day cycle and a night cycle. In the daytime, things are pretty self-explanatory. The player goes around collecting resources and building things on a workstation. There is the occasional bit of violence and combat through fighting hostile wildlife like wolves, but there are also some things like cultists or aliens that will attack the player with spears, crossbows, and such. My first concern was to look at the violence and gore of this game, and it is right what it says on the description that the violence is minimal. You will be attacked by the odd wolf or a cultist who might shoot with a spear or a crossbow at the player, but I think really there is no gore in this. It is quite cartoony, and the only real major threat I think is more psychological, and that is of things chasing you through the forest, and if you are reduced to 0 hit points, then essentially it is game over unless another player will revive you. So let's summarize this game and identify some red flags for you that you need to be aware of. My system works on 0 stars being minimal, 5 stars being the maximum, and let's kick it off with violence. So the violent aspects of the game are by nature necessary. You need to kill hostile creatures in order to progress the game, and you do need to get involved in combat to protect yourself and your camp from people that are attacking it. The violent aspects of the game, though, are that it is very blocky, it is not realistic, and there is a clear absence of gore. And there was one element that I thought was slightly inappropriate, and that is that once you have dealt with the cultists that attack you, the expectation was that you then burn their body on the campfire. I'm not sure that would sit well with younger audiences. As with a lot of these games, there are various weapons, from wood-cutting axes and spears through to handguns, assault rifles, and even laser cannons. Though even in boss fights, the level of violence still maintains the same. Moving on, let's look at the psychological and emotional elements of the game, because whilst this game isn't terrifying for older children, there is a clear distinction between that of a 5-year-old and that PEGI 12 rating that we saw earlier. I think this is where this game has the most red flags. So firstly, tension gets ramped up through atmospheric sounds, the nighttime cycle, and messages on the screen that frequently tell the player your camp is going to be attacked tonight. There are also cutscenes that would play on younger imagination, where like this character, they're walking along and all of a sudden the sharp claws come out, and it leaves a lot to the imagination of what is this cat going to do now that it has woken up. And so, whilst there's nothing absolutely terrifying about this game, I can genuinely see younger children between the ages of perhaps 5 and 8 genuinely having nightmares over some of this stuff. So let's move on and look at finance, and this is anything that causes your child to spend real world money or their Robux. Generally speaking, this game looks fine to me, only there was one thing that I wasn't particularly happy with, and that was around the element of an item called bandages. Now, inevitably, in every game I played, somebody died and they needed to be revived, and the only way to do that for free is by using bandages that you can find in the game. If you didn't have them, I kind of found myself at the point of wondering whether or not I just needed to leave, because there was that social expectation I would use my Robux to buy the bandages that nobody had managed to find. This is where I felt that peer pressure comes in with the chat where people were asking to be revived, because without any way to save the game, if you don't revive people, they just leave and then the whole game comes to a crashing halt where it's impossible to continue alone. Intentional or not, I felt like this was a bit of a paywall. Everything in this review is my opinion as a parent and a player. It is not endorsed by Roblox or any of the game developers. Nobody knows your child better than you, and I'm hoping that these facts help you make the decision about if this game is suitable. If you did find the video useful, please do like the video to help other parents find this kind of content, and subscribe to Level Check Roblox for more reviews just like this one.